Good evening, I'm Alex Pfeiffer. I'm going to give you an informative speech on the position of attention. So I'm going to say this a lot. The position of attention is a key position for all stationary facing and marching movements. I have that memorized because as a drill sergeant, I need to brief that to initial entry trainees. So it's important that they understand exactly what the position of attention is and why it's so important. There's one standard across the board. Anything that you're going to do as far as drill and ceremony, or the trainees are going to do in drill and ceremony, is going to use the position of attention as that baseline. They need to do and understand that first, and then they can proceed with the rest of drill and ceremony. So drill and ceremony is pivotal to the discipline in the military. No military is going to operate at its full potential if they don't have discipline, and drill and ceremony is something that drives that discipline. So as an adult, one of the first things that you learn if you're going to do a job interview or something is going to be how to stand properly. You don't want to be hunched over. You want to be up, standing tall, have your chest out, and maintain good eye contact. And all that's going to come from your positioning and how you orient yourself. The military is no different. The position of attention is how you first present yourself, how you stand, and how you look in a professional manner. So like I said, it's the key position for all stationary facing and marching movements. Anything you're going to do in the military, if you're going to do it in an organized manner, the position of attention is going to be the first thing that you do. So as disciplined as the military is now, contrary to popular belief, back in the Civil War time, it wasn't very disciplined. The soldiers would go and move from point A to point B in a very unorganized manner. There wasn't a good accountability, and there wasn't good movement, and things like that. So General Washington established that, or recognized that, and had a plan of action on how to fix it. There's a Russian officer by the name of Frederick von Steuben that he brought out into the Battle of Valley Forge, and he pretty much told him, hey, I need help getting my guys to be more organized, be more professional, and maintain better accountability. And he developed what is now the modern drill and ceremony that the Army still uses today. He developed what's called the Blue Book, and it's still a reference that we use in the Army for drill and ceremony. So the purpose of drill and ceremony, like I said before, is to move from point A to point B in an organized manner. If I need to move 500 soldiers from here to there, having them walk in a giant gaggle isn't going to look as good, and it's going to look a little bit more or less professional. It also helps you to maintain accountability. Like I said, those same 500 soldiers, if I need to get them from here to up there, if I move them in one organized manner, then we're going to get there, and I know that I didn't lose anybody en route. It also provides a spirited corps, right, which is known as spirit, right, together. And pretty much what that means is it's hard. You need to practice it, and when you do things as a team, you grow together, and there forms a bond. And doing the drill and ceremony, as easy as it seems, walking from point A to point B, trying to stay in step, stay on line with the person to your left or right, that helps provide that. And it helps clearly to demonstrate the chain of command. So if I'm in charge of a formation, I'm going to stand in front of that formation. It's known that I am the one that is in charge and ultimately responsible for those individuals. So it's utilized today in TC 3-21.5. TC stands for Training Circular. So as drill sergeants, we're tasked to be the subject matter experts for drill and ceremony. Meaning I need to know each position, why they're important, and how to explain it to somebody that's never done them before in their entire life. We do this through repetition and through memorization. It's been 3 years since I've gone through drill sergeant school, and I can tell you I still know how to teach the position of attention verbatim to individuals that have never heard it or don't know exactly what I'm talking about. So we use different methods. The method that I use for the position of attention, or that will be used, is the talk-through method of instruction, meaning that I teach you from your feet all the way to your head how you're going to hold your body and what you're going to do throughout the movement. For example, for the position of attention, using the talk-through method of instruction, I would inform them the next position, which I will name, explain, have demonstrated, and what you will conduct practical work on, is the position of attention. The position of attention is the key position for all stationary facing and marching movements. The commands for this position are fall in and attention. Fall in is a two-part command. Attention is a combined command when preceded by preparatory commands such as squad, platoon, or demonstrator. I'll use demonstrator as my preparatory command and attention as my command of execution. When given, these commands would be as follows. I would go to the position of attention and I would say fall in or attention. That's how you give those commands. On the command fall in or on the command of execution, attention of demonstrator attention, meaning when you hear those, this is what this individual would do. You'll bring your heels together sharply on line with your toes pointed out, forming a 45-degree angle. You'll rest the weight of the body evenly on the heels and balls of both feet. You will keep your hips level, chest lifted and arched, and shoulders square. You keep your head and eyes straight to the front with the chin drawn in so the alignment of your head and neck is vertical. You let your arms hang straight without stiffness. Curl your fingers so that the tips of your thumbs are alongside and touching the first joint of your forefinger. You're going to keep your thumbs straight along the seams of your trousers with the first joint of your fingers touching your trousers. You'll remain silent and you will not move unless otherwise directed. This position is used whenever there's a enlisted soldier that's addressing a commissioned officer. So that's basically how I would teach these new privates, and then I would have a demonstrator that would come up and stand next to me, and as I talk through, they would put their feet at the 45-degree angle. They would let their arms hang straight without stiffness. They would curl their fingers so the tips of the thumbs are alongside and touching the first joint of the forefinger. Things like that. So it's emphasized so much in the military because, like I said before, we need to teach them from the ground up. It's very important that there's one set standard across the board, and that's why we as drill sergeants are trained to remember it verbatim. Like I said, that's verbatim what I just taught, and I haven't taught it in 3 years, but I still memorize it because that's how much it's emphasized on us as leaders and drill sergeants in order to make sure that each soldier is getting the same standard. And there's only one standard, which is the Army standard. So at this time, this concludes my brief. I appreciate you guys for being here. Do you have any questions? Thank you, and good night.